Hi, seventh graders. I just wanted to make a short video on how to do the calculations for Newton's second law of motion problems worksheet. If you need to remember where to find it, go to your Schoology page for Mr. Fleming. And if you go down here, kind of midway, this is the PDF for the worksheet. If you've lost your copy of the worksheet, you can find it here. And right here is where you'll actually submit the assignment, and you're just going to enter your answers and submit that as an assignment there. So let's just go ahead and run through. I'm going to do this fairly quickly, but I would encourage you to pause the video and rewatch at any time. I've got a 5-minute timer on the video recording. All right, so there's going to be 3 types of calculations you're going to need to do for this assignment. First, you're going to be calculating force, which is calculated by multiplying mass times acceleration. Force is always measured in newtons. We use capital N as an abbreviation. The next set of calculations you'll do is for the mass, and you calculate that by doing force divided by acceleration. The formula is right here. Too much. Mass is always measured in kilograms. We use the abbreviation kg for kilograms. The third type of calculation you'll be doing is for acceleration. And acceleration is force divided by mass. And the units of measure for acceleration is meters per second squared. That's how we say that, seconds squared, meters per second squared. All right, it's important to include the units on your answers, and you'll want to include that on the answer sheet as well, the units of measure. If you don't have these units written down, go ahead and pause and write that down on your worksheet right now. All right, so I'm going to go and do 2 types of calculations as examples for each of these. I pasted the formula right here as a reminder. We're calculating force for this first set of problems, which is mass times acceleration. So go ahead and underline the mass, underline the acceleration, and we're trying to calculate the force. And again, the formula force equals mass times acceleration. So I used 2 for my mass because I underlined it here. And I used 2 for my acceleration because I underlined it here. 2 times 2 is 4, and newtons is the unit of measure. So make sure you put a 4 with a capital N. All right, so one more example. Force is mass times acceleration for this problem. The mass of the object is 5 kilograms. It's being accelerated at 8 meters per second squared. So I multiplied 5 times 8, and I got 40 newtons. Go ahead and pause the video or rewatch any parts you need to. The next set of, one thing I wanted to point out is some of the equations you will get, the mass will be given in grams instead of kilograms. So remember to convert from grams to kilograms. You're going to divide the grams by 1,000, which is the same as moving the decimal place over 3 places. So 1,500 grams is the same as 1.5 kilograms. You'll always need to use your mass in kilograms. So if you see anything in grams, you'll need to convert it. Okay, the next set of calculations is to calculate the mass of an object. And you get that by doing force divided by acceleration. I pasted the formula here again for reference, and that's measured in kilograms. So mass equals force divided by acceleration. The force in this example was 6 newtons, and we're going to divide that by the acceleration of the object, which was 3 meters per second. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2 kilograms. So make sure you put your units of kilograms. We measure mass in kilograms. Next example. For the next example, we have force divided by acceleration again. The force here was 6 newtons, and we're going to divide that by the acceleration of the object, which was 12 meters per second squared. 6 divided by 12 equals 0.5 kilograms. All right, one last one here. I'm about to run out of time. The last set of equations, we're calculating acceleration, and we get that by doing force divided by mass. So the force in this one was 4 newtons. We divided it by 2 kilograms, and we get 4 divided by 2 equals 2 meters per second squared. And then one more example you can see. I'm about to run out of time, but you can look at what I plugged in. 20 newtons divided